Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually going to be talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm very excited to make this video because if you guys been watching my videos as of late, the teams that I think completely won the draft go not in this order. I think they all got A+. Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'll start it off. I'll preface it with this. And keep in mind, I just took a nap. I just woke up. It's about 11:30 at night. It's very unideal. Got my show tomorrow morning, so we're gonna have to figure something out here soon with this editing. But I want to keep this daily consistent vibe going. I like it. I like that we're back to normal, and I like the response I've been getting, to be honest with you. Wow, okay. I didn't know it was that kind of video today. So, we're going to be talking about these three picks mainly and kind of a little bit about the Oklahoma City roster. Chet Holmgren, to me, first off, let's just get vague with it. Chet Holmgren's a stud. Ousmane Dieng I think he's a G. But I do think he's going to take a little bit of time. Jalen Williams is definitely going to take a little bit of time, but I also think he's a G. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder have a lot of Gs on their team. So personally, keep in mind, I'm a 22-year-old recent college graduate making videos in my mom's basement, so take it with a grain of salt, right? But if I were the GM, and thank every fan base right now is watching this, thank fucking God, this man's not the GM of my team. If I was the GM of a team, basically what I would do, and I would have had to rebuild a squad, is I would rebuild through the draft for a couple of seasons, and I would take risks on high upside players. That's exactly what the Oklahoma City did. Chet Holmgren, Ousmane Dieng, who came out of Australia, the NBL, and there's not too much known about him. This guy is long as hell, and Jalen Williams is actually even longer. But this is my point. I have the 8 core Thunder player here on my screen to the left. SGA, Chet Holmgren, Josh Giddey, who's a giddy up, brother. Lu Dort, Ousmane Dieng, Jalen Williams, Darius Bazley, severely underrated. Might I add? Hopefully the algorithm, hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Hopefully the algorithm gets this to Oklahoma City Thunder fans, because I think Darius Bazley is severely underrated. And then you have Tre Mann, who, brother, if you watched my videos 1 year ago, you'd know how freaking big I am on Tre Mann. You know how freaking pissed off I am that he went to the Thunder and not my favorite basketball team. But you have about 8 core guys right here. You got Shea, who's a star already. If you can get one more star out of this batch, that's what I'd be looking for. And they're going to have one. Whether it's Chet, whether it's Giddey, I think personally both of those two guys are destined for stardom. I know Oklahoma City has 3. They're projected to have 3 Supermax contracts. Or they're going to have that in the pockets. They're going to have the money in the pockets to have 3 Supermaxes next year if they play their cards right, which they will. But I really like what Sam Presti is doing, and it reminds me of Masai Ujiri in Toronto, where you're getting a lot of interchangeable basketball players who can not only guard multiple positions, they could also possibly play multiple positions. But I like the versatility, and I feel like the NBA I feel like we're trending, I don't want to say away from three-pointers, because that's definitely not what's happening, as we just saw with the Golden State Warriors. That was more so like the Suns and Bucks. The Suns-Bucks finals, neither of those teams were good at three-point shooting. Maybe they were fine at three-point shooting, but I would not use the word good to describe Milwaukee Bucks three-point shooting in the finals the other year. I think they shot 31, 33%, something like that. So it's not horrible, but it's not good. It's definitely not good. So I think personally, and I think Sam Presti and Masai Ujiri would agree with this, that the NBA is trending more back to defensive-minded. I genuinely think defense wins championships. If you don't have defense, I think best of luck to you, because you're not going to make it. So, with Chet Holmgren, you have a 7-footer who not only averaged 4 brother. This guy averaged 4 blocks a game. Don't say a goddamn word about the conference, because I don't want to hear it. They're Division I basketball players. It's still a good conference. Just because Gonzaga is the best team in the conference, and they have been for a minute now, doesn't mean they're playing against the YMCA Rec League right across the street from me, those bums. Like, no. They're not playing guys like me. They would curb stomp them. You're still playing good competition. So every time I see any slander towards that conference, WCC, I'm like, bruh, figure it out, man. You can hate. If you're going to hate, at least do some research on it. But Chet Holmgren can do everything. 4 blocks per game, a double-double, and he shot 40% from downtown. I mean, he can do everything. And then with Ousmane Dieng, this man's wingspan is ridiculous. I think it measured in at 6'10". It might have been 6'11". I'm pretty sure it's 6'10". You have an immediate defensive contribution. So my point being, with this draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder targeted defensive-minded players. I personally, and I haven't done too much research on what the national media, I think most people in the media are, I don't really care about their opinion. I don't really think a lot of the people at like ESPN and even The Athletic and a lot of these companies, I don't think they watch basketball. But once again, I'm a 22-year-old making videos in my mom's basement, so who the hell am I to say? But Ousmane Dieng is a great defensive player right out of the get-go, and you're going to see it immediately. You're going to see it in the summer league, actually. But there is actually offensive potential there. There's a lot of offensive potential. I think he just needs to get more rounded. I think he needs to just get, maybe, I don't think deliberate's the right word, but I'd sprinkle the word deliberate into what he needs to become offensively. I'm bad with words, evidently. Actually, that's no surprise. I can't think of the goddamn word, and it frustrates me. But anyways, Ousmane Dieng is not as bad on offense as maybe his NBL stats will look like. I think he shot like less than, he definitely shot less than 30% from downtown, but I think his field goal percentage was something measly. It might have been like 38, 37%. It was something where if you were just a stat box watcher and you saw the stats of this cat in his season at the NBL, you'd be like, why'd they take him so early? There's a reason they traded a first-round pick. There's a reason they went out and they got this cat immediately, the first chance they could. They saw he slipped or they saw a good opening and they were like, this is happening, and this is happening right now. But the good news is, first off, the NBL, I think, is actually a little bit more, I don't know if it's necessarily like the EuroLeague, but it's not like the NBA. It's more team-minded. There's no individual, like, you're not seeing the stats you see in the NBA like you are in the NBL. You're not seeing stats in the NBA that you would in the NBL. That's not how that works. Like, Josh Giddey came from the NBL, and his stats weren't mind-boggling. But the good news is, like, Dieng's last 10 games of his NBL career, they were, shooting-wise, a lot better. It was a lot better than the regular season. So this guy's not a bum on offense. I just think he needs to get more rounded, a little bit more. Still can't think of the word. Anyways, Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. They definitely, in my opinion, reached for him. I think in my mock, I had him at like 18. This is a guy who I don't want to consider like Dieng and Williams project players, but they're more project-esque players. They're more guys who are going to be able to contribute in specific ways, and it's more long-term. Like, Jalen Williams' wingspan's over 7 feet. I mean, he's got one of the longest wingspans in the draft, which is kind of crazy. Like, he's got a long-ass wingspan. Offensively, he's a great three-point shooter. Like, he was one of the most efficient three-point shooters in NCAA last season, actually. So, Jalen Williams, immediate, just like Dieng, they're going to be able to help contribute on both ends of the court. I love the idea about defense, though. I just genuinely think this is the future of the NBA, and I think just getting 3 picks who are more defensive oriented, I think that is the way to go. And like I said, with the Oklahoma City core 8 right now, SGA, Chet, Josh Giddey, Lu Dort, Ousmane Dieng, Jalen Williams, Darius Badley, Trey Mann, I mean, you kind of already have your star in SGA, but even technically speaking, if you get another superstar out of Chet Holmgren and or Josh Giddey, and then you get contributable role players or contributable starters at the very worst, like I think you are with Lu Dort, Dieng, Jalen Williams, Darius Badley, Trey Mann, in the long run, I mean, if one of those players just kind of turns into, I don't think Andrew Wiggins is probably the best comparison, but just one of those guys, because he was drafted first, so he's not the best comparison. But hopefully you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. It's been a long day. I just woke up once again. So hopefully you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. Like, one of those could turn into an all-star. You know, one of those could turn into an all-star. And then from there on out, if you still have your core 8, I mean, you kind of build the roster around them. You build the roster around what fits them, what doesn't fit them, and you go from there. But I think Oklahoma City is doing a phenomenal job just in general in the past couple of years staying financially flexible, because with the new CBA in agreement next season, if that goes down, you're going to be looking at some crazy-ass contracts. And OKC is set up to be the most flexible team, actually, for next year in the offseason. So not only are you possibly going to be able to have 3 Supermax players, but you're also got those 8 studs. You also have those 8 studs. And the money's going up. So, I mean, Sam Presti's kind of a genius, but I don't really think Oklahoma City fans were disagreeing with that. I don't even know if anybody was disagreeing with that. So, OKC, dynasty in the making, low-key, very, very low-key. They know it, and I know it. I think a lot of people are starting to figure that out. Chet Holmgren is, to me, the highest upside player in the draft. Just forgot to sprinkle that in there. And he's going to contribute immediately. And if he fell to my Houston Rockets, I would not have been upset one bit. But I will take Jabari as a consolation. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for daily NBA content. If you have any videos you want me to make specifically, drop them down below. Check out my daily live NBA show. I'm live every single morning on YouTube. The link's going to be in the bio, and it's going to be pinned in the comment section. I want to see you there. We just hit 250 subs. 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, 5 days a week with my boy Cirio Aseo. And to that, I bid you all adieu, whatever the F that means. Peace.